No countdown tonight. You're on.
Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to thank you guys for tuning in to another episode of The Impact. I'm your boy Big Chuck, and tonight we got somebody special for y'all. Because tonight's topic is about generational leaders. And we got a brother on here tonight that he in himself is a generational leader. For everybody that knows him, he's a man of many names. A man of many names. Some might know him by Uncle Big Eye. Some of them might know him as Buff Grandpa. Huh? Some of them might just know him as Sin. Otherwise known as Sinkofa. But his real name is Mr. Ira Crenshaw. Hey, bro. Sin, what's up with you, bro? How you doing tonight, man?
Man, I'm good, man. I'm blessed to be here, and I appreciate the opportunity, man, for y'all having me on the Impact. You dig?
Yeah, absolutely. Listen, bro, I appreciate you for taking some time with us tonight, man. So, just to give everybody just a little backstory about me and you, I'm going to share a quick little story with everybody. So,
go ahead.
Me and Sin share a mutual friend, right? Mr. Wishbone. He says to me,
right.
He says, hey, man, he says, I want you to meet my partner, Sin. I said, Sin? I said, hey, because, okay, so now me being a Christian, I'm like, hey, man, who in the world is going to name themselves Sin? Because when you think about Sin, you're just like, oh, man, this is about to be crazy. So we go. I meet him. I get the most aggressive handshake and hug I've ever received in my life. Now, right. With respect, though, because I'm slightly larger than the average human being. So I said, okay, he put a little something on there. You know what I'm saying? Let the big fella feel a little something, right? But as I right, and I'm thinking like, man, this dude named himself Sin. Like, what is this about? And so as I begin to watch you, bro, over the years, just watching how you move and watching how you get down, right? And I'm like, hey, man, nothing about this man says sin. Like, nothing about him is sin. Like, this is, like, you have to understand, this man has the mind of a general. That's what makes him such a good leader. But he has the heart of a lion, but it's full of love, right? But, yeah, and still, it's still the heart of a lion, right? So then, it took 10 years for me to find out. I'm at the Black History event. They introduce him, and I hear Sin, serving young Nubians. Hey, man, my brain was blown. I said, man, I had the wrong impression of this cat's name the whole time, bro. But it made so much sense, man, because of who you are and the love that you show to each and every person that you meet, right? So listen, I want you to tell everybody, How'd you come up with the acronym SIN for serving young Nubians? How did that name come to be?
Okay. All right. So first of all, it's Big Sin Dog, original Lakewood Hustler Crib, right? So my it's spelled SYN, right? So way back when, you know, I wanted to pay homage to my older brother, Big Sight, you know, from Hilltop, right? That was my older brother, right? He spelled his name SYK, right?
Okay.
I'm from Lakewood. I spell my name SYN, right? So serving you niggas originally. You dig what I'm saying? But now I'm gonna give you but now I'm gonna give you a story of how my mindset switched when it switched, right? So this is at Washington State Penitentiary in 2001. I get into it with an individual, right? That's from a different race. Long story boring. He wanted me outside, right? Now, you know, when we in these environments in prison, you gonna ride with your people. You dig what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
Now, so all of them come outside. Now, I'm only expecting my car, right? The Tacoma Crip car to come outside. You dig what I'm saying? But when I come outside, because at this time, you can only go to yard or gym. You can't go to both.
Yeah.
And so I'm seeing all the guys that usually be in the gym buffing and playing basketball. I'm seeing all these cats outside, and I'm looking like, hey, what y'all out here for? And they hit me up, right? What's good? What's up with these fools, right? And everywhere I turn, it's cats that, you know, I'm not realizing how they rock with a cat. Now I'm telling you, this is this wasn't just the Tacoma car. This was Tacoma, Seattle, California, Spokane. It was Bloods, Crips, and G's. You dig what I'm saying? So in that home, after that situation, you dig what I'm saying? I'm not gonna go into the situation. After that situation got resolved, right? It made me think. Well, cause what's the purpose? What was the purpose, right? What's the purpose of me gangbanging? What's the purpose of me serving what I'm serving, right?
Yeah.
Because in this situation, all factions came together to rock with me. You dig what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so did it make me think of the essence, right? The essence, right? So that first C in Crip, that C in Crip stands for community. Whether you go with reform, whether you go for reform, inter-party service, or whether you go revolution and progress, that C in Crip stands for community, right? When you get off the chain, what happens? When you get off the chain, in the institution, one of your partners, right? Which for me, when I hit Watch State Penitentiary in 2000, was Rance, Lil Pilo, right?
Yep.
He the first one said. He said, Ira, he said, when the gates, on the duck here, he said, when the gates rack, he said, come out, I got something for you. And he dropped me down a bag, my care package. That's hygiene and my little zooms and wham, right? This was my community. This is a cat from my community. You know what I'm saying? And so as time goes on, I realized that this is what we do. So in essence, it goes back to the essence of what it all started out from. And so I started carrying myself in that manner, right? And I'm looking out for mine. I'm doing what I'm supposed to do. Cats is looking out for me. When I go from one institution to the next institution, Cats is happy to see you. You know what I'm saying? And what you need something, right? And so now I'm gonna tell you where Sankofa comes from, right? So they didn't have BPC, which is the Black Prisoners Caucus. You know what I'm saying? And so everyone afterwards. So when I came to Stafford Creek, back to speak Stafford Creek in 2017, they got BPC. Oh, this is what's up.
Yeah.
Right? And so now the Sankofa, now the symbol is the Sankofa bird, right? And so the Sankofa bird is the symbol of the Black Prisoner Caucus. It's a bird moving forward, but craning its neck back, protecting an egg or seed, right? Now, Sankofa in the Twi language in Ghana, it's the literal translation is "go back and get it," right? And it represents the past, present, and future. You get what I'm saying? And so our foundation is our past. Our strength to carry on is our present, and striving for a united community to enable our youth to grow and our elders to teach is our future, right? And so at BBC meetings, because that's what I represent, right? And so at BBC meetings, I used to introduce myself as Ira Sankofa Crenshaw. And one day my partner, Weez, you remember Weez, shout out to Weez, Baby Bro. I introduced myself and he says, Sankofa, right? And he's like, oh, okay. Yeah, I did that. So that's where Sankofa, and I stand on what Sankofa represents, which coincides with the principles we follow in BPC, which is the 7 principles of Kwanzaa, right? In Nguzo Saba, right?
Absolutely.
So that's where Sankofa comes from, right? Because I'm going to always go back and get mine. I'm not standing around and sitting and being an observer of the bullshit that continues, perpetuates in prison. You dig what I'm saying?
Absolutely. So listen. So since you brought up the Nguzo Saba, and with what you just described right there, it makes me think about Kuchi Chagalia, self-determination, right? To define ourselves, name ourselves, speak for ourselves, and speak for ourselves, right? So how do you personally help to educate young men on understanding who they are as first of all as men, second of all as maybe dads, brothers, husbands, right? Outside of what the streets are telling them they are, but just as a man, period. How do you go about that?
Okay, so dig this. First and foremost, right? I meet them where they at, right? Because I can't make nobody change. right? Individuals have to want to change, right? And so I meet them where they at. Because I can't never look at a young head that's being a knucklehead and reprimand them for doing what I used to do, right? Like I came into prison and I went all the way backwards. I wasn't gangbanging. I wasn't particularly gangbanging on the streets, but I come to prison and it's cats in here that I want to get at. It's cats that want to get at me. You know what I'm saying? So I went backwards.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so like my first year at Washington State Penitentiary, right, at Walla Walla, they was calling me Snapchat because this is Big Bad Walla Walla. So let's get it in. It don't matter who you are, where you from, what race you is, right? So and then I elevated myself. Right? So now when they come in and they bad kids, right, I let bad kids do bad kid shit. But at the same time, when they copy with me, they realize I'm not on bullshit. You dig what I'm saying? You can't come and tell me this, and then I say, hey, that ain't popping. And then one day you're going to get tired of going to the hole. One day you're going to get tired of missing out on visits, right? You're going to get tired of being over on the east side of the mountain, on the west side of the mountain, right? You're going to get tired of your baby mama bouncing on you. You know what I'm saying? Because you keep messing up. And she's trying to rock with you. You're gonna feel that pain when one of your women folk, your mama or your auntie, you know what I'm saying, or your sister, somebody get killed or somebody die, right? And you're gonna feel that pain, right? And you're gonna miss out on a lot of shit. So that being said, when they realize like, oh, well, the big homie, he still rock with us, but he just ain't off that BS, right? Yeah. And so they try to keep it from me, but at the same time, I try to navigate to where, hey, listen, you know, we seeing light at the end of the tunnel. In this moment in time, we've never seen so many people getting time knocked off and getting out of prison, right?
Absolutely. That is true.
So now it's like, do you want to stay in prison, right? Like, continue to do what you do, right? Because everything we do in prison is transferable. Right. So if all you want to do is gamble, if you don't want to program, right? When you get out, what you gonna do? If all you want to do is get high or do the bullshit, that's what you're gonna do when you get out of prison, right?
Yeah.
But that's also gonna keep you in prison. You understand? So now, and just sooner or less, I'm programming, right? But I still kick with him, I still pocket with him, I still talk shit with him, all right? Because
listen, real quick. What I would tell you is this: keep that mic close to your mouth so your voice can be clear, because it's fading in and out. So I need you to keep it close. But go ahead.
Okay, I got you. And so what usually this is what usually happens, right? So what usually happens is they see that I rock with them, I still click clack with the homies, right? But then they see that I click clack with everybody, right? That I'm tight with everybody. You know what I'm saying? And so then every now and again, a young head will come to me, hey, big bro, hey, how do you do what you do? I'm like, what are you talking about? You know, like you be programming and shit, and the homies don't be buying you. I'm like, because if the homies really love me, they want to see me exceed, right? They want to see me do things that I need to do in order to get out of prison, right? And so do what you need to do to better yourself, right? Because when it comes down to it, you know, we got to say, well, I'm doing my own number, right? And in essence, you're really not, because you're always connected to somebody, right? Especially if you're from the ghetto, right? But at the same time, you're doing your number because you need to worry about you and yours, right? So effectively, when you do bullshit in here, that keeps you from your kids. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely, it affects everybody. What you're doing here really affects everybody. It really does.
Absolutely. You dig what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
Because it already affects them, right? It already affects them when you come in the system. You dig what I'm saying? It already breaks 100 hearts. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, when I talk to them and then they comment, right? And then they'll be like, hey, you gonna speak at the event? They see me speaking at these events, right? And then they see the passion that I got in what I do, right? And then it resonates with them. You know what I'm saying? And then I don't preach to them, right? They don't want to be preached to. So I don't preach to them.
No.
Because again, you got to meet them where they're at. You know what I'm saying? You got to meet them where they're at. And so it's like, you know, it's like if you got a young homie that wants to go to church, right? He believes in God and he's falling back on his faith in which he was raised on, right? Like I would send him to, hey, I got a partner, and I send him the big chunk, right? If I got a cat that's a Muslim, right, and he wants to be on his scene, I'm gonna send him to the imam because I'm connected.
Absolutely.
Right, so I'm always push him in the right direction. Right, and at the same time, again,
absolutely.
you know, you remember a few years ago, it was a whole bunch of my little homeboys from Lakewood and Hilltop and my nephew.
Absolutely.
And they was around here, and I'm trying to keep the leashes on them. Y'all ain't packing nobody else. Y'all ain't packing. Do what y'all do, but y'all ain't packing nobody else.
So hold on.
You know what I'm saying?
Right. So listen. Hold on, Sandy. Hold on. So listen. So with that right there, with keeping leashes on them, I've heard you multiple times, man, had conversations with me and with other people, man, and you talked about your granddaddy and how much you loved him and how much he meant to you, right? So when you start thinking about how you changed your life and then begin to guide these young men's lives, how much of your granddaddy's voice do you hear? And how much of the things that he showed you and demonstrated to you do you still, even to this day, apply to your life?
I'm going to ask you to hold on to that question, Ira. We're going to hang up and call back because your phone about to hang up. And we'll be back after this intermission.
Yeah, we'll be right back.
Yeah, for sure.
You have one.
BeatStars.com. 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 BeatStars.com.
All right, we're back.
So Sam, before the break, man, I asked you a question, right, about your granddaddy. And I remember you telling me this story about when your granddaddy got sick and how you got on the plane and you went back to see him and you run up in the hospital like, where my granddaddy at? And and everybody's like, wait a minute, what's going on? And so you go in there and you see your granddaddy, and your granddaddy looks you in your face and said, man, I knew you was going to come and see me. I knew you was going to come for me, right? So with all the things that your granddaddy taught you in your life, and I know he was like a major role model in your life. When you begin to change, when you begin to think about changing your life, and then also not only changing your life, but begin to redirect these young cats, and and teach them and show them what's really good. Like, how much of your granddaddy do you hear in yourself? But also, how much do you hear him telling you how to go forward?
Well, honestly, Chuck, like my grandfather, mind you, he was one of them hard workers, right? So he was always a provider. He was always a provider, right? But really, it was my grandmama. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
It was my grandmama. Yeah, it was my grandmama, right? And you tie that in with my older brother, Syke, Michael Anthony Jeter Jr. Rest in peace, right? It was things that they taught me, right? And so when it's crazy because I come to prison and then you hear them old voices, right? Like, for instance, I'm gonna give you a quick example. Like, no, you can't have no cereal. You gotta eat this oatmeal. It's cold outside, right?
Yeah.
It wasn't until I got the Walla Walla and how cold it is, and then you eat that hot oatmeal, and then you walk outside and you feel that warmth on the inside.
Absolutely.
Right? You know what I'm saying? It's like keep your beanie on. Stop taking your beanie off. You know how much we love beanies. You know what I'm saying? Right now, you know, but when we was kids, we wanted to take the beanie off all the time. Right? But the values that my grandmama instilled in me, right? Like coming to prison, like she was big on respect, right? Like I'm gonna give you an example, right? I'm about 8 or 9, and a bum comes to the house, right? Which back then that's what we called them, bums, right? But homeless dude, right? He comes to the house, he knocks on the door, and he asks my grandmama for some food, right? So she said, hold on. She shut the door, right? And she goes and she gets one of the little tin pans, like for the pecan pies. She gets a tin pan, right? And she loads it up with food, and she covers it with aluminum foil, goes back and gives it to him. Right? Mind you, I'm like 8 or 9 years old, right?
Yeah.
And so I asked my mom, I said, Grandma, why you giving that bum food? She comes, boy, shut your mouth, right? And so she gives him the food, and she's like, thank you, ma'am. I really appreciate it, right? And so when she shut the door, she said, listen, she said, if a man can swallow his pride, come up and ask somebody for something to eat, you don't never deny him, right?
Absolutely.
And I remembered that, right? So when I'm in prison, right, and so I'm in certain positions, and I'm gonna give you an example. I'm at Ira Heights, and I'm like, listen, if anybody ever needs something to eat, right, just come to my cell. I got a couple soups and some beans and rice for you, you know. And so one time, I'm a tier rep, right, and so the CUS, he called me in his office. He says, hey. He said, Crenshaw, why that old white man was at your door? I said, what? He said, and he looked on his camera on his TV, and he said, he ain't right there with the beer. I said, somebody told him that if he was hungry, he can come to me and ask something to eat. You know what I'm saying? And so I gave him a couple soups, right? And so when it comes to the young homies, it's the same. But at the same time, you're not gonna take advantage. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because I'm frugal.
Absolutely.
I'm raised by my grandmama, and grandmama was frugal. You know what I'm saying? And so I'm frugal.
Absolutely. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And so when it comes to the way I walk, right, is that more, you know, it's big in prison. Is big on respect, as crazy as that sounds, right? You got to cover your mouth. You can't be sneezing on somebody, get the shit slapped out of you. You know what I'm saying? You can't just cut in front of somebody. You can't be bumping, because it's a respect thing, you know. So my grandma taught me how to respect. You know what I'm saying? My grandma taught me how to say yes, no, thank you, yes, ma'am, no, sir. You know what I'm saying? And so I bring those things into prison, right? But then, like my brother, right? I remember one time we were going to, you know, it's a house full of women, right? Aunties and godmamas and stuff, and cousins and brothers and sisters, right? And so at this time, I'm 12, he's 15, right? And so he said, come on, we're going to go to the store, go steal it. And I said, for sure, right? So this is, you know, this is the 80s. So this is the 80s. So this is when they got this is when they first came out with the king size candy bars and stuff. So I never forget. I grab a king size. I grab a king size almond joy, right? And so I'm getting ready to grab a Mr. Goodbar too. Yeah, come on. And so he looks at me and he don't yell at me or nothing. He just said, "Hey," he said, "Is that what you want to eat?" He said, "Because we can't feed the family with that. We come in to steal something that the family can eat." Right. And so I said, "Oh, okay." And I put it back. Right. And so now we go and we remember that big log, that brown log of hamburger meat. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
We steal that.
Absolutely. That 5-pound log.
We steal, right. We steal the big ass economy size pack of pork chops, you know, and then we stole all kind of stuff, and then he stole some steaks for all the women folk, right? And so when we got back, we got all this food, and so Aunt Diddy, which is his mama, which is my godmama, right? One of my godmamas, Aunt Diddy, right? My mom is tripping, but Aunt Diddy tell her, shut up, girl. These boys did some grown man shit. They didn't went out into that store, you know, and put it on the line and brought back some food to feed all these kids and feed us too. You know what I'm saying? So that let me know. So as I'm coming up, and by no means was I the best brother, the best father, the best, you know, I was subpar because I was selfish. I was living in my selfishness, you know, ripping and running in the streets, right? But I try to always make sure, you know what I'm saying? If they called on me, I was there. You dig what I'm saying? Yeah. I try to make sure my little brothers was taken care of. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And so, but like I said, I'm not saying I was the best brother. I was by no means the best father, the best son. You know what I'm saying? Because I was in my selfishness. I was living in my selfishness. But I tried to make it that if my sister, my brother, even one of my baby mamas called on me, right, I could be there. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. You know, but you know how that go. But then when I come to prison, right now I can live by example, right? And I can flat out tell these young heads, I'm like, listen, bro, I'm like, my kids is grown. I'm a grandfather now. You know what I'm saying? And by the good graces, right? You know, by the good graces, my youngest son, mama, been rocking with me the whole time, making sure that I know my son. You dig what I'm saying? Absolutely. And so, and you know, and I had to apologize to my son, right? When he was 19, he came up with his girlfriend, and we popping. And the first thing I did was I looked him in his eyes and I told him, I apologize for not being the father that you need. You know what I'm saying? For not being there. You dig what I'm saying? You know. And so, and when my oldest son came and when my daughter came, I did the same thing with them. You know what I'm saying? Because you know it's a privilege. It's a privilege for them to be able to come into space. You know what I'm saying? I don't take it for granted, right? So I was subpar on the street as a father, as a brother, as a son, as an uncle. You know what I'm saying? So any of these times that I see these individuals, it's a blessing. So now I tell the young heads, hey, dig this, man. You know what I'm saying? Your baby mama ain't got to do shit. You dig what I'm saying? Especially when you wasn't being the man you were supposed to be. You know what I'm saying? So appreciate her. You know what I'm saying? And do what you do your best to love on your kid. You know what I'm saying? And so there's other lessons that they get programming lessons, right? They get the lessons of love from in life, right? Then they get the lessons like where are you going? Where are you going with the gangbanging? Like let's talk about that, right? Where are you going with the gangbanging? Like,
what's the point of this thing?
In reality,
what are you doing it for?
Right, like gangbanging has a shelf life, right? I went to an NA, right? I went to an NA meeting, right? Now, mind you, I don't do drugs, right? But I go to an NA meeting with my partners that got problems, right? And I come to find out that I'm an adrenaline junkie. I'm addicted to the life, right? That means I like to be in the circle. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. I like the high speed. I like the fighting, the shoot 'em up, the women. And even though I don't do drugs, this is my circle, right? But all that has a shelf life, right? All that has a shelf life. So when we hear about cats, that's dying and they in their late 40s or they my age in their 50s and their early 50s, right? And they dying. That's all that shit that's catching up to them. That's all that fast life catching up to them. You dig what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
And so, like, I remember I asked one of my young homies, right? I asked two of them that I've never met in person, right? Gotti and Lil D. Crippen, right? Individually, I asked them, hey, what are we going to do, right? What do we have to, you know what I'm saying, to offer the young homies when it comes to point in time when they're done with the gang banging, and then they need to take that illegal tender and make it legal, right? So now we're talking about financial literacy. Now we're talking about financial literacy, right? And we're talking about giving back to the community. You dig what I'm saying? Like, and I always liken, right? I always liken it to the mob, right? Like, we know that the mob started out one way, but then they wanted to get away from the drugs, right? So they started investing in real estate. They start investing in construction companies, right? But then there's always pushback, right? There's always individuals like, no, we're making a killing and we're gonna do what we do, right?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So now it's like, okay, there's always gonna be gang banging. But what happens when you get 30, 40, 50 years old? You dig what I'm saying? Like, what are you doing with your life? Are you still gonna be on the block? Like, let's be real. Let's talk about it. Let's be real. Like, so now I done spent a quarter of a century in prison, right? And by the blessings, right? After a 97-year prison sentence, I'm coming home. You dig? You know, I'm coming home. And so now I'm 50. I'm 51 right now, right? So I'm in my early 50s, and now I gotta start from the bottom, right? And so now I'll point that out. Is this where you want to be? Right now, I'm not tripping because I'm getting ready to go. I'm getting ready to gas. I ain't got time to wait for nobody. I'm getting ready to work for it, and then I'm getting ready to invest in myself, right? In order to have my own shit. You feel me? And I don't have the time, but go ahead.
So let's talk about this. Let's talk about release. So, but first we're going to get into this filthy rags thing, right? How has filthy rags affected your life as far as like from the very first onset of it, right? Because so I remember when Fonz first came to me with it. He said, "Man, listen, this is what we want to do." And I said, "Man, listen, man." I said, "Listen, I'm not a gang member. I've never been in a gang. Like, I understand the streets, but I'm not a gang member." He says, "Bro, you don't gotta be a gang member to understand this, right? Because you have different perspectives of things, right?" And so what I'm asking you, bro, is one, what made you want to be a part of it, right? And two, knowing that this foundation of filthy rags is literally built on Christ, like you believing in God, but not being anybody that practice any certain type of religion. Like, what has it done for you? And what made you even want to be a part of it from the beginning anyway? So absolutely.
So dig this, right? So I believe in my brothers, right? I love my ninjas. You dig what I'm saying? Right? I love Big Chuck and Big Chuck that. I've been talking with Big Chuck, knowing that Big Chuck is going to quote some stuff from the Bible, right? He's going to talk about Christ, right? And I'm not offended by that, right? Because I believe in God. You dig what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
You know? And so you, Fat Cuz, right? LG, Chuck, like Chuck, you know what I'm saying? You know, I call him Chuck and Charles, right? So, you know, I needed to support y'all first and foremost, right? First and foremost, it was me supporting my bros, right? Hey, we can make something. Hey, where's that? Well, it's all right, cuz you know I ain't doing all that. But, you get what I'm saying? You feel
Yeah. I'm with you, though. I mean, they ain't really my lane, but I'm there with you, though. Let's go.
But quiet as kept. My godmama, Mama Garner, right? She used to ask me, "Son, you gonna come to church with me tomorrow?" I'm like, "For sure. You want me to meet you there? Come pick you up." And I go to, and I pop up church. I don't got no problem with church. I like the music. You know, that's what we like to sing, right? I can't sing, but I like to go and get the feel. You dig what I'm saying? And I'm grown now, so it's church starts at 10, and the first break is at 11. I'm out. You know what I'm saying? But with that being said, so initially it was just to support my bros, right? I want y'all to be successful, right? This is part of the 7 principles of Kwanzaa, cooperative economics, right? You know,
absolutely.
You know,
now.
and our businesses, right? And so I need to support y'all. You dig what I'm saying? And so then when I'm in there and I'm listening to everybody, but then Fat Cuz, right? Alfonso, right? It's kind of like when you hear the songs in church and they just fill you with something. And so he speaks my language. You dig what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And he puts it in terminology that a cat from the streets can get.
Yeah, absolutely.
You dig what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So he get the gas, it get me rocking in my seat, right? And I'm turned up, and and then I'm remembering, being in the grandmama made me go to Sunday school and let me go to church, and you know what I'm saying? And then questions that I had, and he might answer a question that I had years ago. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
And so I like to hear gas, right?
Yeah.
And I can accept it in that way, right? I mean, I'm gonna accept it in your way, but when he spits it, it's gonna grab. Yeah. The gang member. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna make.
I completely understand it, right? Because the Bible says, right? It says, train up a child in the way he should go, and he shall not depart from it. So even if you do go off, like the prodigal son, you always gonna come back to what it is your grandmama taught you. Right. You always gonna come back. You always gonna come back to the church. And if that church got to come through my guy Fonz, giving it to you in the way you can do it, right? Because the Bible says that we're separate the wheat from the chaff. But Fonz like to say separate the bud from the shape. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
To give it to you how you can understand it, right? So it's always gonna come back. You're always gonna do, right? Because God says, my word shall not return to me void. If he's talking to you, he's talking to you. And eventually you're going to answer. But go ahead and finish saying what you were saying, man.
So, but I mean, that's pretty much it, right? And so whenever y'all call, I'm coming. Because y'all my niggas. 1 minute left. Right? And so therefore, I'm going to come and I'm going to celebrate. So because no matter what, even if I'm just there to support y'all, I'm going to get something. Because you guys are intelligent brains, right? And you guys stand on what you believe in. What's up?
Listen, Jessica, we got 1 minute. We calling back though. We calling right back. All right.
Well, let's call back. Let's go.
Absolutely.
Because there's something else I want to talk about. You feel me?
Okay. I got you.
The caller has hung up.
All right, we're back.
Hey, everybody, we back. I'd like to thank everybody for staying tuned with us. Like I said from the beginning, man, this is going to be something that everybody needs to hear. Everybody needs to tune into the podcast. Go to Spotify, go to Google, go to everything. Because we got one of the generational leaders. I told y'all, this man got the mind of a general and the heart of a lion. So, Sin, listen, man.
Let me chime in right here. We do have one comment from Marguerite Crawford. She says, "Hey, Ira, love always."
Come on, for sure. Good looking out.
Absolutely.
That's what's up.
So,
good looking out, boy.
Listen, bro.
That's my girl. Yeah.
So look, so you about to be out of here soon. You about to be releasing soon, right? And so,
right.
I like to call it the future reaching back to the present, right? Because cats like us that's sitting here, we have the answers for these guys that's on the road to coming here. So how is it? So do you plan to continue to support Filthy Rags and, man, just carry the torch for us out there, man, to be a voice for us out there, to maybe help Jessica where she needs help at? Is that part of your plan?
So listen, man. So you know how earlier I said everything you do in prison is transferable, right? So
absolutely.
This is transferable. Well,
let me know it then.
So this is transferable. This ain't this ain't just who I am. This is who I've been. You dig what I'm saying?
There you go.
So
there you go. Let me know it then.
So I'm gonna be a part of Filthy Rags, right? Just like I'm a part of Filthy Rags right now. Just like I'm a part of BPC right now, right? Just like I'm a part of Leveled Up Reentry right now. I'm gonna be a part of these spaces. You dig what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
Because all I want to do is come and contribute, right, to the betterment of me and mine.
Yeah.
Right.
Absolutely.
And so like Chuck. So when I went back to court, right, it was crazy because in my mind. So now remember how I said when I first got to Walla Walla, I went backwards. You dig what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So and then that first year they was calling me snap case, right? So when I went back to court, guess where my mind frame went? It went backwards, right? I'm like, okay, I'm first young, especially because now there's new little cliques, new little gangs. You dig what I'm saying? And I just ain't taking no all like that, right? So in my mind, I'm like, first
really these guys, these cats now they really don't understand the rules.
No,
they really don't understand, and they think they can just do whatever.
Because it's changed. Right. So in my mind, I'm like, first little cat that approached me in an aggressive manner is on and popping. I'm not. Don't approach me aggressive because I answer in kind with aggression. You dig what I'm saying? And but surprisingly, that had to go right out my mind because as soon as I come in, it's. They on me like, what's good, OG? And they knew because they knew that I came from the joint because I look healthy. You dig what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So immediately, I don't know none of these babies. These cats is younger than my youngest seed. You dig what I'm saying? He's 28 right now, right?
Yeah.
But so these cats is 19, 18, 19, 21, right? And so they OG, you coming back from the joint? What's good? You get ready to get some time back? I'm like, absolutely. Oh, that's what's up. And then, and so then I was in there on my birthday, right? And so here these youngsters.
Come on, then, Copeland.
Hey. Oh, you dig what I'm saying? So they're like, oh, gee, what's good? What you want? And you remember when I came back from court, I was sucked up because they ain't feed you nothing. And I go to certain things that I don't put in my body. You dig what I'm saying? So I'm kind of on a forced fast. But the youngsters is well, you're gonna have to eat something, OG. You know what I'm saying? It's your birthday. We gonna here. You gotta be. We know if you was in the joint, they'll be doing big old spreading. And so they blessed me. So when I left, I just the money that I had on my books, I just ordered a whole bunch of shit, you know what I'm saying, and gave it to the youngsters.
Yeah.
Hey, what you want? What you want? Especially because I got store on Saturday and I left on Tuesday. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
But and so so when I'm there, I'm schooling cats, right? I'm like, listen, I don't play with these people. You get what I'm saying? I'm telling you now, they're gonna bankhead bounce you. You feel me? You're going to have Buck Rogers. And so I tell them, hey, listen, the first time I said I fell in 99. The first time I came back to court was 2002. I gave some time. I gave 54 years back. You dig? I said, I ain't been back since. It's 2000. I said, it's 2022. And they like, damn.
Yeah.
And then it was a youngster, right? The youngster come in, he got like 4 first-degree assaults. He take a deal for like 16 or 18 years or something. I think it's 18 years, right? And so they're talking about, man, you should have took it to the box, right? I said,
no
took
way.
it to the box. I said, let me ask you this question. I said, you're defined, so now you can keep it all the way funky. I said, did you do it? And he kind of looked at me. He was like, yeah. I said, was there witnesses? Was they coming to testify? He said, hell yeah, everybody was coming. I said, so what the hell would make you think you're going to win? I said, I just came back. I said, I ain't been back since 2002. I said, it's 2022.
Yeah.
I said, what make you think you going to, I said, how many people, I said, I guarantee you know a gang of cats that's in the joint, that's trying to get back on the appeal. I said, these white folk ain't playing with you. You better take that deal and be happy. Boy, what you talking about?
Absolutely.
And going here and get somewhere where you can learn something, you know what I'm saying, and get out better and be better for yourself. And he was like, damn, OG, he said, man, good looking out. And so I dressed the whole tank. I said, hey, dig this, y'all. I said, some of y'all only gonna get a couple years. That ain't nothing. That's gonna be a breeze. You're gonna be in there kicking it with the homies, and you're gonna come back, and then you're gonna get about 5 to 8 years, right? That ain't nothing. You're gonna come in, kick it with the homies. You're gonna miss somebody. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna feel the pain of getting your little broad knocked, your little broad getting your joints ran by your brother or your best friend or something. You know what I'm saying? And you're gonna get over it, right? And then you're gonna have to build a callus around your heart, right? You're gonna have to strengthen your mind, and you're gonna have to move forward, right? Then you might get out a better person, a better man. Hopefully you will and realize that I'm done with this, right? But now if you get Bankhead bounce and you got Buck Rogers on that ass, right? And you got that 25 piece, right? You got that 55 piece, you got that 97 years, you got that life sentence, you're gonna be sick.
Absolutely. They're gonna park you.
You dig what I'm saying? I said, you're going to be sick. I said, don't play with these people, right? If you go here, right? If you go here, I understand it seems like, going to the box is the righteous thing to do because you feel like you can come back on an appeal. But you know what you did, right? And you know what you didn't do.
Absolutely.
You dig what I'm saying? But if you know what you did, your ass better, you better take what you can get when them folk come and be like, hey, you better take this dub. You didn't blow this cat's noodles out, right? We're going to give you this dub, right? I know that seemed like a long time, and it is. But if you get caught in the system, it ain't no guarantee your ass is going to get back. It ain't no guarantee that you're going to get clemency. It ain't no guarantee that a law is going to change. A law is going to change for you in time. I told him, I said, what I gave back this last time was something that I had coming. It was something that I had coming. I brought it up in my second trial. You dig what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And it was a young homie, and it was my young homie shooter who wasn't even on the porch when I was on the streets, who's filthy with this legal shit. And he said, hey, bro, we was getting ready to attack one thing, and he looked at my JNS. He said, hey, bro, he said, damn that. He said, hey, bro, they messed up on your points. I said, I brought that up. He said, I know. I see that right here. It says that right there. He said, damn that other thing. Yeah. He said, you're going home off of this. And so I let him do what he do. And he banged with him for 2 years. You dig what I'm saying? And then finally, the Supreme Court commissioner, then the Supreme Court justice said, yeah, y'all gave him too much time. Right? But even then, Chuck, right? So even then I got to break this down to him, right? So, you got the mitigation pack. Right, I've been programming, I've been MCing, I've been spitting spoken words, I've been doing different various things, right? I've been getting visits, right? My baby, my youngest seed, my youngest seed now got seeds. You dig what I'm saying? So I put all the pictures of all my family and everything in this mitigation pack, right? I put all my certificates. I got a gang of certificates, right? The judge says I read everything in your mitigation pack twice. Right? He said, including the letters from the COs, which is the behavior logs, right? The negative and positive BOEs, right?
Absolutely.
Right? But he kept bringing my 2 trial judges up, right? I said, Now, mind you, I got all the racial statistics, right? All the racial inequities, right?
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? And so I make sure my attorneys bring that shit up, right? Guaranteed, if he wouldn't have brought that up, because he gave me the mid-range, but yet there was no reason for him to give me the mid-range. He should have given me the low end. You dig what I'm saying? But he gave me the mid-range because you know they don't like stepping on toes, right? But so he's gonna balance it out, give me the mid-range because now he don't want to seem like a racist bigot. You know what I'm saying? So I gotta tell these young heads this in the county, and they're like, "Damn, OG, you giving this game." I said, and I'm giving y'all something to talk about. Anyways, I'm going in my cell. I need to write a love letter. You know what I'm saying? Because we're going back to writing love letters. You know what I'm saying? In the county. You know, but you know, it's you know, like I said, man, I stand on the 7 principles of Kwanzaa and Nguzo Saba in BPC, right? And you know, I mentioned cooperative economics before, Ujama, right? The fourth Kwanzaa principle, right? And so something that we do on a small scale in here, right? Like I said, I'll support you, right? So Ujama is to build and maintain our stores, shops, other businesses to control the economics of our own community and share in all its work and wealth, right? We must support African American businesses. African American businesses must support the African American community, right? So now we got to have this financial literacy. We got to learn financial literacy, right? Because understand this, right? We're the only people, you dig what I'm saying? Listen to what I'm saying. We're the only people that as soon as we get paid, we spend our money outside of the community. You dig what I'm saying?
Say that one more time for everybody. Say that one more time for everybody that's listening out there. Go ahead one more time.
As soon as we get paid, as soon as we get paid, we go spend our money outside of our community. You dig what I'm saying? Yeah. Right, we go to the mall, buy clothes. We don't go to nothing black owned really. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like for instance, like think about it. Think about it. Think about the nail salons, right? Now we know our sisters can get out, right? But how many nail salons do they own? You know what I'm saying? You know, we think about how back in my day. Right?
I'm not gonna say none.
No, I'm not gonna say. Listen, because I'm not gonna say none. But let's be real. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
You know, where they going to get their hair from? Where they going to get their weed from? You know what I'm saying? Like like now, since I've been down. Okay, we can do this. For sure. Like so now, here goes cooperative economics, right? So let's say I got a homegirl, right, or I got a niece, right? Guess what I'm gonna do? If she want to do something, I need to put it into her. You dig what I'm saying? I need to invest in her.
Yeah.
When one of my boys want to do something, right, and I need to invest in him. Think about it. Think about this, Victor. So back in my day, right, back in our day, right, cats used to be trying to rap, and they sell they carry some CDs out the trunk of their cars. Right? But what do we do? Yeah. When they selling them, we want a deal, right? We want a deal, but then we'll go to we go to Penny Lane or Tower Records and buy a CD for $17
and pay full price to somebody we ain't never met before. Ain't never gonna meet.
Come on, cousin. Come on, bro.
Yeah.
Come on, bro.
Absolutely.
So now, so this is like so. Cats don't. I don't even think cats fully. A lot of us do, right? But I don't think a lot of young cats when they think of Black Wall Street, I don't think they fully comprehend what it was in Tulsa, Oklahoma, right?
Okay, listen. I'm glad you brought Black Wall Street up, right? Because you know I did the Black Wall Street joint, right? And I did the study on Black Wall Street. Black Wall Street is that the dollar circulated in the community 100 times before it left the community. The dollar stayed in the community 100 times. It stayed 100 times in the community before it ever left. Right?
Right.
Come on, man. Cooperative economics, man. We profit from ourselves. We take care of ourselves.
Right. So let me break it down. Our doctors was black. Our lawyers was black, right? The carpenter was black. The plumber was black, right? You know what I'm saying? So when I need some plumbing work, guess who I went to? I went to that black plumber. When I need some carpentry done, guess who I went to? I went to that black carpenter. When I needed to buy some groceries, guess who I went to? I went to that black store owner.
The black grocery store.
Cooperative economics.
Absolutely.
You dig what I'm saying? That's what cooperative economics is. You dig what I'm saying? So like I say, everything's transferable. So how I am right now, understand, it's all gas, no brake when I get out, bro. You dig what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
You know?
And listen, I don't, it's not a doubt in my mind, man. Because ever since the day I met you, you've been you. You never changed.
Come on.
Now, and I don't mean change is like in a faulty way. You've grown, absolutely, because we're men and we understand it. So we understand that each day we have to grow, right? Listen, before we go, because we starting to run out of time right here, right?
Yeah.
Can you share with the people and with me again the speech that you gave at the Black History event about the 7 principles?
What, bro? Bro, that's gonna take a minute, man. That's gonna take a minute.
Go,
bro.
We got a minute,
bro.
Well, give us what you got until we.
Hey, well, let's hold on. Let's take an intermission and call right back, so I can get a full dose. Can we do that?
Okay.
All right,
we can do that.
Vicky Robinson says, "Hey, Ira, I've heard your grandma stories. Much love."
That's
so. Thank you.
Okay, so listen.
Appreciate that, Vicky. Yeah.
Listen, we calling it back in about 2 minutes. We got 2 minutes because our clock is ticking. Okay. All right, 2 minutes. All right,
for sure.
So everybody out there, hold on to your seat because
the caller has hung up.
Serving Young Nubians is about to serve it.
The caller has.
BeatStars.com. BeatStars.com.
CB cooking up, boy.
All right,
All right, everybody. We're back. We are back. We are back at this thing. So listen. So before we left, I asked my man, Mr. Chin, Kofa, to hit us with the speech that he gave at the Black History event. If you've never been motivated in your life, or you've never been inspired in your life, the words, the delivery, the context of the speech that Big Bro is about to bring is about to do it for you. I'm telling you right now, it's going to amp you up. You might not be able to go to sleep tonight. Chin, come on, man. Let him hear it, man. Give it to him.
For sure. This is titled The Seven, Brotha Saba. Who would I be if Sankofa didn't represent being a servant to young Nubians, reaching back for my hooligans, to fetch, seek, and take to them all that I am as a man? To relate, not to separate, stay focused and not deviate. As much as I think I'm great, I'm nothing without my hooligans. I rotate 360. Just like when I touched down at Washington State Penitentiary for 97 years, it was the homies that came to get me with no letters behind their names. No PH or D. Not even high school diplomas. It was worried about my mental faculties when the faculty was only worried about me doing time in this modern day slavery. Amendment the 13th. Read about it. Ojima, I'm going to speak about it. Black Prisoners Caucus, building powerful communities, inside and out. Think about it. The young homie shooter made my legal problems his, so now I'm getting out. If that ain't collective work and responsibility, then what we talking about? You heard me. I said I had 97 years. And I ain't getting out because the law done changed. I'm getting out because of one of my peers. So those without felonies, do your duty. Serve on a jury. I done had 2 trials, and out of 24 people, none of them were my peers. Okay, I went back a couple decades ago, and over 50 out of 97 had to go. But how are we supposed to learn in 1 year where they take an attorney at least 4 to know? I'm installing friendship in Spanish. Remember? Give us free. Well, let my people go. But now my community revolution stays in progress to reform with powerful individuals because we're all brothers of the struggle. And together we become an impenetrable circle, only as strong as the weakest link. I got to do everything I can to nurture your creativity because how we left the land wasn't good for our society. And I need to leave it more beautiful and beneficial for my 6 grandbabies. Kuumba. I'm getting ready to be touching down, but I'm going to be leaving behind some of my brothers. So I got to do like that 3 language in Ghana saying, go back and get them. Sankofa. The 7 principles I stand on, Nguzo Saba, Kwanzaa. Right now I'm off that Kuji Chakulia, determined to redefine myself as I get closer to my freedom so I can contribute to Ujamaa, where we build and profit together off a business like they did in Oklahoma, Black Wall Street. Burned down by a white uprising. Google it. Learn some history. I don't got time for the sensitivity of white fragility. You've seen a commercial on TV, Thomas Paine, an American revolutionary. If you're scared to offend, then you can't be honest. That's why I'm authentically myself in every room I walk in. And my testament is I'm trying to restore my people back to their traditional greatness. So when I speak of Nia, I ain't talking about long. I'm talking about purpose in which we can never be wrong. In taking our vocations and building our communities and restore our people back to our greatness in which we belong. But you gotta have faith. You gotta stand strong with Imani. Through struggle comes greatness. I say that. That's my own litany. I believe in my people and the righteousness and victory of our struggles. I'm a frontline general. I talk too much to be in the back. Put me up front and I'll slap box with the devil because I'll sacrifice me to set my people free. But who would I be if I didn't acknowledge those that came before me? And who would I be if I didn't acknowledge those that fought through slavery? And who would I be if I didn't acknowledge the millions dead in the sea, transatlantic slave trade, the Middle Passage? Killmonger wanted to be buried with those ancestors, but the strongest ones was the ones that survived, and that's the blood I bleed. It was never a thought I couldn't survive the penitentiary. I come from a generation of pain where it's not an anomaly to see your homeboys' brains laid out looking like they sleep. I had to turn my head each time before they covered them with that sheet. We used to laugh at the way we used to get beat with them orange race car tracks and insisted courts by our mamas. Now we understand that damn near everything we done been through is generational trauma, and that hurt people hurt people. So that must mean grandmama pain was the prequel to mama's pain being the sequel, and that must make our pain a trilogy. I'll be damned if this is a dynasty. We didn't help each other through a lifetime of pain with not nan degree, making us better for our nation, race, community, family. Strong unity. Because I sure enough came to prison with the mindset of a soldier, feeling like I was carrying the weight of the world on my shoulders. It was the cats up around it that looked me up, my brothers, Umoja. I just gave y'all a toast to the 7, Nguzo Saba. Thank you.
Hey, listen, what a way to take it out. Listen, listen, I told y'all from the beginning, this man is a general. My brother, I salute you. Listen, I love you, bro. I love you, big bro. I'm telling you, man. Listen, when I see you, I need one of them super aggressive hugs from you again. You hear me? Listen, hey, bro, I thank you, man. I thank you for taking this time, man, to share with us, man. To really share your heart with us, man, and share your perspective, bro, and just spend some time with us, man.
Absolutely,
so,
thank you, and I appreciate y'all. I appreciate what y'all doing, bro. This is good work, my ninja. Real talk. You feel me? It's good work.
Hey, man,
I love it.
We got to put the work in to get something out of it. So listen, I want to thank everybody out there, man, for tuning into another episode of The Impact. Thank you. I hope you thoroughly enjoyed everything that you heard. But now, Miss Jessica, you know what you got to do. You know what time it is.
My little plug at the end. Man, you gave me goosebumps. I had goosebumps like everywhere. That was filthy. That was filthy.
I tried to tell y'all.
I appreciate that, Jessica.
Man,
I appreciate that.
I'm like speechless. I don't even feel like I could go after that. But I do have to kind of close up. Vicky said, "Well done." She commented. She's watching on YouTube. She said, "Well done."
Come on, that's what's up.
Yeah.
I appreciate you, Bill.
Yep. So if anybody out there listening to this is impacted by any of the work that we're doing, listening to the impact, the guests that we bring on each week, this takes a lot of time and effort to put on each week. We always have opportunities for people to come and volunteer. Anything that you want to come and get involved in, I'm sure we can plug you in somewhere. So check out our website, filthyregsoutreach.org. Email me at jessica@filthyregsoutreach.org. As always, tune in next week with Big Chuck. Thank you so much for gracing us with your presence tonight, Mr. Sin.
For sure. Thank you. Thank you for having me. I appreciate it. Thank y'all both.
Okay, everybody.
I appreciate it.
Listen, everybody. We signing off. Until next Thursday, man. We'll see y'all then.
Have a
see
good
y'all
night.
later.
Peace.
The caller.